This is chapter 1 of the Stowaway. It's called The Warning. Carlito pulled his hands into the boat when he saw the shark. Its fins sliced the surface of the water as it circled just beyond the kelp bed. Papa! His father looked up from his nets. He motioned Carlito to sit still, then slowly reached for one of the oars to use as a club. For many moments they waited. Swells rolled under their cayuco, their small fishing boat, lifting it up, then down. From the rocks offshore came the barking of sea lions and the swash of waves. Fog made the air damp, the water gray. When the fin of El Gran Tiburon began moving toward them, Carlito's heart raced and he looked at his father, whose fists tightened at the oar. Through the murky water, they saw the huge white shape. Then, inches away from their net, its snout broke the surface. A cold, dark eye stared at them as the shark drifted by. Carlito was horrified. It had come close enough to touch. And when he realized it was bigger than their cayuco, perhaps 18 feet long, he began to shiver. Suddenly, though, the shark sank from sight, the water rippling above it. They watched its wake. Carlito knew El Gran Tiburon wanted breakfast, and he knew it was headed for the otters playing in the kelp. A splash and a terrible squill made Carlito turn away. Papa, he said, must the shark eat the little otter? Can't it eat something else? Papa smiled at his 11-year-old son. Carlito's brown hair was damp from the fog, and he was still shivering. It's just the way things are, mijo. By noon, the fog lifted. Monterey Bay sparkled in the October sunlight. So many otters bobbed in the swells. Papa rowed carefully so he wouldn't hurt any with the oars. They had caught sardines, cod, and perch off Punta Peños, where wind-blown cypresses met the shore, and now they were returning home. As Carlito watched for sharks, he noticed a small white spot on the horizon. Soon, there was no mistaking the sails of La Goleta, a schooner moving swiftly in the breeze. A ship, Papa, look! A trumpet sounded from the Presidio, and with it drumbeats and shouting soldiers. Children ran barefoot to the beach where Lieutenant Jose Maria Estudillo would soon stand with his spyglass and silver megaphone. It was his job to hail the ship's captain and learn his business, for California was owned by Spain. Only friends of King Ferdinand would be allowed ashore. Carlito watched in awe as the three-masted schooner entered the bay. Entered the bay. From somewhere on deck, a bosun's whistle pierced the air. Men high in the riggings quickly furled sails until the masts were bare as twigs. When it seemed La Goleta would crash onto the beach, another whistle sounded, and immediately it veered away, dropping an anchor from its bow. Fat swells splashed against Papa's oars and into the boat, drenching them. They found themselves pulled directly under the bowsprit of the huge ship. Carlito gazed up at the carved figurehead, a beautiful painted lady with red lips and golden hair. Next to her, on the hull, blue lettering spelled the ship's name, Clarion. As Papa rode away from his towering shadow, they looked up at the mizzenmast where a flag snapped in the breeze. It had red and white stripes and a blue square in its upper corner with 20 white stars. Yankees, Papa said. They're probably from Boston, like our friend Thomas Doak. Lieutenant Estudillo waited on the beach surrounded by children who shrieked with excitement, for the arrival of una goleta often meant there would be a fiesta. Ho, schooner, he called in English. What brings you to our capital city? An assortment of officers in uniform gathered on deck as a long boat was lowered over the side. One of the men hailed back, We come to warn you, senor. Okay, we're going to go to page 4. Papa stopped rowing. He shaded his eyes to see the officer better. Several minutes passed as the first mate asked permission to land, and Lieutenant Estudillo consulted his documents. Papa let the cayuco drift so he could listen. 3 words, called out across the water, made his jaw tighten. It was the first time Carlito had seen such anger on his father's face. Again, the words were called out. Pirates are coming!